Hey guys, it's Dane here with part 2 of the Umbrella Academy cosplay, and today we're going to be working on this. If the shot does not look perfectly lined up, my vision is not 100% right now, but you can't guess why. And I am going to show you how I made this, and we're going to show you all the stuff that I did and what materials I used. Let's get into the build. Alright, so I have this new material. It's about 6 months old. It's called Cosplate. And it's a thermoplastic that is flexible. You can still mold it, but it stays more flexible than other ones. I've never used a thermoplastic really before, so this is going to be new experience for me. I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to do this. But I'm going to be trying to make the Umbrella Academy mask, and I'm going to try to mold this to my face and then add on details to it. According to what the videos say and what the guy who promotes this says, it can mold on your face and it shouldn't burn me, but it should be still pretty hot, so we're gonna see if that's something that I'm gonna have to just figure out. Alright, so I'm gonna peel this off and start heating it up with the heat gun and putting it on my face. So what I have here is this. So I have my heat gun here to mold it, and I have these hard drive discs right here for me to use as a mirror. Yeah, we can talk about being prepared. So I'm going to start time lapse and let's get going. Alright, so that was unpleasant. It's really hot, but I guess I didn't get too badly heated up. I'm going to trace on this with some marker and cut out some rough shapes and then put it back on my face. One thing I really like about this Cosplate stuff, is that since it's flexible and returns to its shape and it's see-through, when I'm marking it up with a pen, I can fold it in half. Make sure the sides line up, and then I can trace onto the other side, and it goes back to its shape. So it stays in its own shape, but you fold it and you can trace. And with a little bit of alcohol on the rag, you just erase. Super easy. So let's get to tracing the eye onto the side so you can see what I'm talking about. Just go straight through. Alright, so you get the idea. Yeah. I have it now to the point where I want it, and I'm going to take some scissors, cut out the shape, and probably take scissors and cut that out too. So let's get some scissors. And I see that you can sand and all that stuff and attach this to itself. So I'm going to cut out, for all the raised panels, I'm going to cut out different panels and try to heat them up and put them back onto this. So it's like one layer right here, so it's going to be another layer right there, and then one on top of that. It's going to be raised, so let's see what that does. Alright, so alright, let's get those eyes cut out. I'm going to cut the eyes a little smaller than this hole so I can sand to the actual shape, just in case I didn't trace them over right. The eyes, you really want eyes to look very symmetrical when you're doing something like this. So like I trace that line, and then I fold it, and that opens it up. Then as you're cutting down it, you open it up more and more. See how it's getting fatter? You do that on both sides until you're mostly through, then you just there. Ah. Okay, so to attach the different panels, like we see, I took a strip and made it roughly sort of fit by molding it. And then I'm taking a wood burner and I'm running along the edges on the outside first, smoothing them up, and then taking a razor blade, cutting off all the excess goo, smoothing them out again. And once you do that, you can slide this in between the layers and it melts both of them together. You pinch for a little bit and it sticks. I tried other methods, and to keep this in the same shape, we want to not heat it with a heat gun again, or else it's gonna flatten out. So this is how I'm attaching it. So I line up the lines on this part more so than any other thing. I tack some parts down by going like this. I let it cool, and then if there's excess that I need to cut, I'll cut a little bit off and then do all this all the way around. So I took the Dremel tool with some sanding disc. I sanded all the edges so they're like rounded where they should be. I sanded these lines and made all this stuff look good, and it has like a rough texture to it now, which is alright because I'm going to do a little bit more hand sanding to finish it up. And I did some test painting. So this is the silver spray paints just to see what the colors look like, and I sanded this side, didn't sand that side, and when I flex it on this side it's crinkling and pieces are coming off, so it's not really that good. This is a shiny black paint. I sanded this side and didn't sand this side. When I crinkle fold this side, it crinkles on this side but not necessarily on the sanded, but it's a little too shiny and a little iffy. And this is Plasti Dip. This part already had fingerprints and stuff in it. I didn't sand them off yet, but it flexes and doesn't crinkle or anything like that. So I'm going to be using Plasti Dip, and it's the right color and the right matte kind of shininess or sheen that I'm looking for anyways. So I'm planning on doing a vacuum form of the lenses with some clear plastic that I'm going to get from just random packaging that I have that was already vacuum formed, so I know it works. And we're designing a buck, which is going to just be the shape that we're going to vacuum form over. And you can see that it's shaped like the eye. The thing that we're doing is making it so that it's just about 5 millimeters tall, and we're making it so it curves. And we're using the loft command. And in the loft command, we have different settings, and I found that if you change it to these instead of the default and you put it at 270 right there, the angle that it shoots out at, then it goes straight out instead of like looking sort of weird, and it makes it more curved like a rounded object. And we're going to just save this out, print it out, and put it on the vacuum forming machine. So after testing, I found out super glue does work with this. So what we're going to do to get these eyes to bulge out and be see-through, we're going to take a piece of cloth. I found some slightly stretchy cloth. I think it's two-way stretch. I don't really know which one it is. And I'm going to super glue it to the mask first. So putting a little bead down around here, pulling this so it's a little flat. And then we're taking our vacuum formed molds and pushing them through here. So you see when you glue it in, the eyes are gonna go whoop and be all 3D-ish like they are in the movie, in the TV show. It just sort of has to hold it, doesn't have to be super hot. And you want it to be slightly taut, so that way it stretches when you push the other part in. Push this in, it should stretch just right. And it does. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing for gluing this in and hold down the edges and cut off the excess. So let's get to that. Excellent. So now we have to cut off the excess. Let's just go around it. Ah, all right, there. Let's get to some better lighting. There is the mask. So let's get this put on my face and see how it works. So as you can see, I'm still trying to get used to using the Prose. This is the first time I've ever applied it, so there might be parts that are poking up, like right there. I've never used it before. This is literally the first time I put this on my face. So I'm going to be better at that after I practice a couple times. All this is something you can make, and if you make it, be sure to tell me below about how you made it and whatever other materials you use. If you want to help support stuff like this, you can also look at my Patreon, where you can see files where I make different stuff. Like I have the patch fully made, and we're going to have the patch video coming out really soon, and you can buy those on my Etsy, which is going to be linked below also, and you can check out my Patreons to look at all that other stuff. So if you have a name like this up here, then those people are helping support my Patreon, and all of their money goes to helping pay for stuff like this. And you can check out some of my other videos over here where I'm making stuff. I might also be doing some parkour, and you can click on any of these links over here where you can subscribe or see my Patreon right there. And we will see you in the next video. So the next video is actually going to be the patch video, which is going to be the crest for the Umbrella Academy. Look forward to that.